Enumerate all the things. We are back again with another service enumeration, and that is nothing but SMTP. By default, SMTP works on port number 25, and yeah, that can be changed and configured post and this is the default port and can be changed. We will be start with the first enumeration way is through the Nmap script. Nmap has multiple NSA scripts we already discussed about. What we're gonna do is like Nmap hyphen script in order to specify the script. Star I'm gonna use this time, which is the wildcards. I want every SMTP related scripts to be executed. Port number will be 25, of course, and my target Linux box. Let's see how it works and what information it gathered from. Okay, so I got my output in return, and it tells that the service is postfix smtpd. There are some commands that are allowed. It says verify something, which we will be focusing on in order to enumerate it further. smtp-enum user failed because of rpct has some different error. This is just a script execute. We will have other ways in order to enumerate smtp users or system users on that specific server, and there are other scripts that executed. Also at the last you'll find bbox, which is the host name of that specific machine. You can also download this bbox from the internet by just googling on bbox, and you'll get a link, right? It's well known one. So yeah, that's it for this nmap. As we have already seen nmap in action, let's take it further with our another tool, that is smtp-enum-user. smtp-user-enum, not the enum user, of course. And yeah, this is a simple tool that allows you to enumerate what are the system users or mail users over your destination SMTP services, right? So it's pretty much simple. What you have to do is you have to specify a mode. By default, it uses verify. We'll get to know in a very short how this verify works. Username or the user list, if you want to provide, then it's a capital U, and the target, as simple as that. So let's pick it. -m prfy for verify, hyphen capital U for username, is usernames.txt, hyphen t for my target Linux box, right? Well enough, let's hit enter. It says, yeah, that specific machine has the user account exists. There are other ways, other methods that are allowed. Let's give it a try. Use as well. So the second one says expn. Here we go, and it unfortunately failed. However, you can give it a try further in order to get more information. You can even skip this entirely and it will still work, right? So that list has these much users from which root is the one exists, right? I have another list. Let's go with that as well. Here we go, and it worked. It says www data exists and b exists. The one earlier we used, that was for Windows operating system. This was for the Linux common users, right? There is also Linux users list available from the sec list, which is like a great list to have in your repo. So it's located under user share sec list usernames, and there will be some Linux or SSH username somewhere. Um, top. Let's go with the top username, and let's hit enter. And it, as you can see, it did manage to find root exists, MySQL, and FTP users are there. And this information is pretty much the correct one, right? Now, how this works, that is something we will be focusing on. We will be using telnet in order to connect to our SMTP server. So it will be target Linux and port number 25. As soon as we connect, will going to revert me with some information like banner or something, what version is running and so on. Here we go. It seems to be connected and we are good to go. Yep, it's running. So once you see this banner, that should be pretty much it. You can start by just typing hello, which is HELO, of course. Localhost. Localhost will gonna tell that or tell that machine host name specific. So here we go. It says 250, which is the true status code, like 200 for our HTTP service. It's the same for our press one, right? So it says bbox. It worked, right? Second, we already saw that VRFY, RCPT, and so on. So how that exactly works? Mm, Nothing super difficult. It's pretty much simple. It has a command prfy and the username you want to supply. For example, root. Root will be there, I'm sure, right? So here we go. I got the response. I can type vrfy and let's say non-exist. It returned with a different error, right? So this way, our tool SMTP user enumeration, the one we saw earlier, works. So it uses this vrfy command as a method in order to validate the same. So again, I'll be repeating the same thing. And it worked. This worked with the vrfy mode. Similarly, there are other mode we already saw. Is hyphen M RCPT. If those is the one, it worked here. The next is EXPN. Yeah, this is the one. And it failed. So basically EXPN failed, however RCPT worked and VRFY. So those are the mode through which this tool able to enumerate or gather the usernames from the destination system. How this can be helpful? So let's say you got a web application or any other services which ask you for a username or have a username, password, or a login form, something. You can enumerate the system users through this service or through this SMTP service, right? Through the specific tool. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the enumeration part. Another scenario I would like to add here is using the different tool. So let's take it further to the level next. The tool I'm talking about is nothing but Swaks. Swaks. Swaks, what it says. Let's take it further with the manual initially. So hyphen help. It says Swiss Army knife for SMTP. Yeah, it does most of the penetration testing or sending mail, receiving mail, sending a spoofed mail, and so on. It does all the action. Not receiving mail, of course, but it creates crafted emails with the different headers and whatever you really wish to add into your mail header, body, and whatnot. So let's take it further and see it in action. Because it has a massive documentation, it doesn't mean it's difficult to use. It's pretty much easy. You just need few commands in order to start with. Of course, to master it, it will require some extra things, but we're not gonna master at this point, and we're just going to understand what is this swag tools, or we will be just focused on a tool named Swags. This entire series of enumeration is just give you an awareness about all the different tools that we will going to utilize in our exploitation part. There's still enumeration. We will going to enumerate further with the exploitation ways, right? So just be aware with the Swags. All right, so let's start by just typing Swags and hyphen 2 whom you want this mail be sent, right? So let's say I want to first send it to root at the rate the destination server name or a host name we already aware of, right? If it has a domain, you can specify the domain name as well. I'll be saying like root at the rate b hyphen box hyphen from This mail came from, I'm spoofing someone, so let's say b at the rate b hyphen box, which is another username, right? So to from hyphen hyphen server dollar target Linux, where my service is on. If you want to specify any body, let's say hyphen hyphen body, it just your body content, right? So I'll be saying um this mail is from B, maybe, or let's say please subscribe. That can be spelling mistake, but ignore. Okay, so that's it. That's all. Let's give it a try. First, what we're gonna do is like we'll connect to our B box machine, which we already have here, and we'll see what is the last tails B. We go. I don't have permission, of course, because right now my user is data. Let's exit. Exit. I am root now. cd/var/dub mail and cat p. It's pretty much empty right now. Okay, so let's see if this mail is successfully sent to the server or not. There is a quote issue. Let's see where. Okay, this exclamation got me wrong. So I'm changing this double quote to single quote in order to consider everything as a content. Here we go. It will take some time because this B box machine, the lab I have, is a little leggy and it's quite old, but should be enough for our testing purpose. I also have this mailbox ready here, so as soon as I get a mail, I can see it here, the content and everything in detail. Here we go. So this mail is from b at the rate b hyphen box to root at the rate b hyphen box. I successfully able to send a mail with my own content. The mail is from B, maybe. Please subscribe. Right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a simple tool, nothing difficult. If I read this B, probably it will be a root, not the B. So there might be something where I'm wrong, but yeah, I hope that you can see. What I'll do, I'll change this user from root at the rate bbox to, let's say, hyphen data at the rate bbox in order to give you a quick demonstration how this can be exploited. So let's see. Again, this may take a little time. It worked. Let's see if that data is there, and yes, it is there. So if I read that hyphen data, and this is something I already injected to the server, right? So let's take it this way, that there is a vulnerability that allows you to local file include. You can include this specific file, which is data inside mail, in order to get your code execution, right? With the LFI. A quick demonstration. Let's just take it further, right? But it worked, as you can see here. It worked well. My content has been successfully sent. Yeah, we already have, let's assume that the target or the victim has running some PHP sort of application, and it is vulnerable to LFI. As we can see here, I am able to load etc password wd content, and you can see it here. In LFI, basically this executes as a PHP code or a server code. If it is not PHP and something else, then still it will going to be like executed in case of LFI, local file inclusion, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'll go with the same. I'll use the account data again, because usually this web server is being used through this specific account. It's a web daemon. Data is also known as web daemon. Just remember that. And yeah, what I'm gonna do, instead of sending this this mail is from B, what I'll do is like I'll add my PHP code. PHP, let's say PHP info, open bracket, close bracket, which is a function, and should be good. Let it enter. So it successfully sent this PHP code to my destination file that we are aware of, right? So let me quick check. Here we go. My PHP code is successfully injected. Now, as it is injected, what I'll do is like I'll use that specific file, which is /var /mail /www hyphen data www hyphen data. Sorry, there is a typo. Here we go. As you see, instead of showing that as a content, it executes that PHP info function, and I can see all the code here. You can change it with your one-liner shell or any other command execution, and that should be pretty much working, right? Simple enough. And yeah, that's all the things I have planned for this Swaks and SMTP related enumeration. What are the things we can do? We can enumerate users. When we have the users or we find any vulnerability, we can use Swaks in order to send or inject our malicious piece of code to the server. Remember that www data is often used for your web hosting. Like the process is owned by www data for whatever the Apache server is, right? So yeah, that's it. That's all for this video. Hope you like, hope you enjoy, and if you do, please like, share, subscribe, and yeah, comment below if you need any help. Maybe if you need a guide or something, anything. Just you can appreciate me by just commenting, right? So yeah, that's it. See you in the next. Good day.